he just up and popping one right in the mush? That's what I'm wondering.
I don't know, to be honest. I mean, some people like fisticuffs. I'd probably like to see it. I don't know. It's just stupidity. But I wouldn't want somebody talking about my wife like that constantly and constantly. It's just I can see where it would get to be an obsession and an unhealthy obsession at that.
Well, I think he's obsessed with Beyonce, but that's just me.
Yeah. So,
So anyway, so you're still an active DJ, like you were
mhm.
last time. And so, which do you like better, Van Halen or Van Hagar?
I'm a diehard Sammy Hagar fan, always have been. And when I'll tell you a little story. Back in 1984, I was a senior in high school, and I had this study hall buddy. We would just talk about Van Halen back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I said to him one day, wouldn't it be cool if Sammy Hagar joined Van Halen? And boom, 2 years later, I was like, yep. I love Sammy. I love his attitude. I love his musicianship. David Lee Roth is an entertainer. Sammy is a musician. So I tend to lean towards the musician more. I'm a bigger fan of his music more than crotch grabbing and guy wearing bikinis or whatever. He wears women's bathing suits on stage. I think just David Lee Roth has an incredible ego, so to speak, an overblown ego at that.
So
So
you
I
feel
kind of
Van
get turned off.
Hagar was better than Van Halen?
Hmm.
Okay.
It's still Van Halen to me. I'm a Van Halen fan, but I'm a big Sammy Hagar fan. So yes,
See, I knew this stuff.
yes, you did. I just, it's just the way it is. It's always has been that way for me. I mean, there was actually a time where I was actually a big Bryan Adams fan, even a bigger fan of Bryan Adams than Van Halen. Imagine that.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So what do you think of Chicken Foot?
Chicken Foot, I love Chicken Foot. I think it's a nice blend of four very seasoned rock vets. You got Sammy, of course. What can I say about Sammy? But he's the man. You got Michael Anthony, former bass player for Van Halen, in his amazing bass playing, but his backing vocals, it's just amazing. Then you got Joe Satriani. He's like another Eddie Van Halen. He's great on the guitar and all that. And then you got Chad Smith, who I love. Chad Smith. Chad Smith is an amazing drummer, as we know. He's from the Chili Peppers, and I just think the four of them together, just you get great music. You got comedy, and you just got four guys that enjoy doing what they do.
So we had this debate last week. Who is better, Motley Crue or Guns N' Roses?
Exactly what Honeybee said. Motley Crue or Guns N' Roses?
We had this debate
Uh,
last week.
honestly, I love both those bands. They both have insane guitar players, but I have to lean, if musically for me, it'd be Guns N' Roses. Bad Boys, it has to definitely go with Motley Crue. So it's kind of, well, they're both pretty much bad boys. So I have Slash's autobiography, and some of the stuff that I read is just insane, insane. So
Yeah, I want to read
it's a
Nikki
right down the
Six's.
middle type of thing. I can't go either way. I can't pick a favorite
I'm a
because
huge
I
Crue
also,
fan.
yeah, Crue's a good band. I've seen them a few times, and yeah, I don't think Vince is as strong vocally as say Axl Rose, but I don't. Axl Rose's voice kind of grates on me after a while. But as far as the guitar playing, I have to go with Slash.
Well, everybody goes to Slash because Slash is one of the gods. But
Yep.
still, if you think about it, like musically speaking, like for the long run, Motley Crue has been around longer and has
Yeah.
had less drama as far as a group goes. No,
I
but
don't know. You got to think back to when Vince Neil got in this huge car wreck in Hollywood that killed a drummer, I believe, from a band called Hanoi Rocks, and the guy's name was Razzle. They've had their fair share of drama. It's
Yeah,
just
but not as much as Guns N' Roses, like people leaving, people getting kicked out,
right,
people getting switched up and all that stuff. Like that's the kind of that's the kind of drama I'm talking about. Like, you know
right,
what I mean?
right.
Like Motley Crue has stayed together as Motley Crue
Mm.
without having to replace people, where Guns N' Roses have replaced a lot of people.
Yeah,
And
I got to
yes,
say about Motley Crue, they've had only one other lead singer than Vince Neil. It was John Corabi, and they had a female drummer at one time because Tommy Lee couldn't tour. But that's the only shift in the band that I've ever seen with Guns N' Roses. I mean, not with Motley Crue, excuse me.
like we were saying how sometimes that with Guns N' Roses albums, you know, you like one, you listen to it, and then the next one comes on, oh, I don't like it, click. You know, then you like the next one, and then the next one, click, click, click,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. But then with Motley Crue, you listen to an album, and it's like, there's no clicks.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the Guns N' Roses album I have, but I have never listened to was Chinese Democracy. And that was, like, from what I heard, probably one of the most ridiculous albums ever made. It's just Axl with replacements.
Yeah. I don't like
So,
Axl Rose's voice to begin with either, so
mhm.
maybe that's why I lean towards Motley Crue more than I do.
Yeah.
So, when you DJ,
When
you
do I
DJ,
DJ?
when
Oops,
you
sorry, go ahead.
DJ, it's
Yeah.
okay. I hear you doing a lot of awesome classic rock. And
Mhm.
now, have you ever tilted over to the hard screamo side ever?
Uh, Once in a while when I get requests for it, I will do it, but I tend to lean towards the clubs here on SO, more classic rock and blues type, and I did dabble in some country, but I can't remember what the heck the name of the club is, the Sanctuary or something like that. It was one of the oldest, longest standing metal clubs. I can't remember what the name of it is, but I tried to get in there, but they didn't even
Hmm.
look at my application.
Yeah,
But I
Sanctuary
do have
Rock.
it. Yeah, I
Sanctuary
do have
Rock?
it. That's it.
Yeah.
But
Sanctuary Rock is a hard club to get into. Like,
I
and you have
noticed.
to know your clubs. Like, you have to know Five Finger Death Punch, and you
Mhm.
have to know Necrophagist, and you
Mhm.
know Cradle of Filth, and all that stuff.
Oh yeah,
So,
I've actually got a little side story. A good buddy of mine that I actually went to school with used to be in a band called Venom a long, long time ago. And I have the stuff. I know what it is. I know how it exists. But as far as getting into a place like that, I've never had an opportunity.
being that it's close to St. Patty's Day,
Mhm.
what's your take on the bands like Dropkick Murphys, Flogging Mollies, and the Progs? The Progs.
Oh, I love them. I have a vast collection of those bands. I love the Murphys. As you know, they're from Massachusetts, not very far from where I live, and they do an incredible cover of "Dirty Water." And I haven't heard much of Flogging Molly's, but just little snippets here and there. I do like them actually. I do like them.
Okay, we have a question from Ms. Ray, and it's for both of us. What role do you think music plays in professional wrestling? Does it enhance or diminish, or neither, and why?
I personally think it actually accents it because there's certain gimmicks that just with the music it just pushes it right through. Look at what do you think? What's the first thing you think of when you hear Disturbed's Glass Shatters?
Of course, you think of Stone
Stone
Cold
Cold
Steve
Steve
Austin.
Austin. Yep. And when you hear Cult of Personality, who does that come across as?
CM Punk.
CM Punk. Exactly. I mean, I think it got its jump start back in the 80s with Cyndi Lauper and the Girls Just Want to Have Fun Girl. And I mean, it really accents, I think, professional wrestling. Yes, exactly. Exactly what Honey said. It gives the fans another way to relate and invest in the wrestler, which is
Hmm.
true.
I do agree with that. I think that it enhances the wrestler a little bit more because everybody knows their theme music. Like, even if you're not a huge wrestling fan like me, I'm not a huge
Mhm.
wrestling fan. But, the music, I know. And I know, The Rock's theme song, and I know The Undertaker's theme song, even though he's
Mhm.
changed it 14 million times. You know, and I know Cold Steve Austin, and I know, CM Punk and stuff. Like, I know these people simply because of their music more than I see of their in wrestling ability.
Mhm.
So, yeah,
Yep,
Motorhead,
exactly.
Triple H, yep. See, I
Ace
even know
Goodnight,
that.
Ace Nightfire, for the Ace of Spades. But it's seriously though, music does accent the wrestler. It actually, to me, you associate the music that you hear with their character.
Yeah, like if it's very heavy and very dark and very,
Hmm.
you know, you know that they're a heel. Where if it's a little bit more upbeat and a little bit more lighter, then you know that they're a face, sort of thing. It's
Right.
it's of the way it goes, kind of like in SL, because you've got Arcana who plays 6 a.m. This is gonna hurt, and then you've got
Hmm.
Flying High by DJ Splash for Gata,
Yep.
and that's like quite the upbeat poppy type fun song, so you know that she's a
Right.
face and all that stuff. So I think that
Mine
also.
kind of teeters as well. Mine is a band called Testament and Native Blood. You could go either way. There's this gray area where, he talks about Native American rights and, I can't remember the lyrics right off the top of my head because I'm putting pressure on myself. I'm wanting this world, you better get out of my way or something like that. It can go either way. But as you know, true blue babyface.
No, I think your song is more face than it is heel, to be honest with you.
Mhm. I saw that and I couldn't help pick that one. I used to have one called it's a Native American artist. His name is Bill Miller, and a song called Ghost Dance. If you've never checked it out, check it out. It's an amazing song. But then I switched gears as I evolved in my character stages. So, um, okay, it's just one of them things that with the music you can associate with, say, like Kane or The Undertaker. When you hear the bell tolling, it's just like one of those things that makes the hair on your arms stand up. It gives you a feeling. So it's an amazing thing, being a wrestler and playing the tunes that you pick. And I like the different tunes. Like there was I think it was Tony's. I can't remember. And it was just amazing. Gonna lay off that root beer.
Gotta love root beer.
Yes.
So, because you are such an oldies type
Hmm.
music, because like I've listened to you DJ a lot,
Right.
and you DJ extremely well, and I really really enjoy your sets and stuff, and you're always playing the good oldies that everybody knows and loves.
Hmm.
Is there one band other than Sammy Hagar and all his
Hmm.
bands? Is there another band that you grew up with, and other than Brian Adams, that you found was influential to you as a person? Like not as you as a DJ, but you actually as a person.
There's two actually. The number one ever is Led Zeppelin. There's you can't, like they say, on the eighth day God created Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin and the Who. I can relate to a lot of it because Led Zeppelin, with their Viking, Nordish, and their blues, they've been an inspiration. And the Who, Pete Townsend is just amazing. You know, not only guitar wise, but he's a brilliant mind when it comes to writing. The Who, they had John Entwistle, Keith Moon, you know, and Led Zeppelin had Bonham. Just two very influential rock drummers. I mean, the first record I ever borrowed from a library was The Who. And I can't remember the name of the album. I think it was, let me see, I'm looking through my playlist. I think it was Who's Next, which came out in 1971. And it was just an amazing album. And then we have Kiss, of course, Kiss. Who cannot like Kiss? For not very talented musicians, but they had a show that was like no other.
No
I
other
got
show.
to see Kiss.
Yeah.
Right.
I've
I saw
seen
them
Kiss
for the
a
first
lot.
time. Did you?
Oh yeah, I see Kiss a lot. I'm a Kiss fan, so I've seen them quite a few times. My kids are Kiss fans. My ex is a Kiss fan, so of course we've seen them quite a few times. But their showmanship is just phenomenal.
I first saw them in 1978, and I was like 12 years old. I was just like, you ever see the old videos of like the Beatles when they played like the Ed Sullivan Show and all the girls screaming and everything? Imagine a 12-year-old kid, a male no less, screaming just like that when he saw Kiss for the first time.
My very first band that I ever saw was Black Sabbath.
Oh, nice.
It was
gathered in their masses. I can't
But
sing
it was
like Ozzy.
with Dio, not Ozzy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and it was Heaven and Hell tour.
Ooh, very nice.
Yeah. I was really young. My mother took me. And, everybody's smoking pot and, all this stuff. And my mother's, like, flipping out. And it was great. But I remember when Dio sang the song Heaven and Hell. It was like electricity went through everybody. It was just phenomenal. Like, his stage presence, I still remember it to this day. His stage presence was so electrifying, so enthralling, so to speak. Like, it was just fantastic. And like, even my mother, who hates rock and roll and who hates all this stuff, she turned around and she said, this band isn't so bad. And I'm like looking at her going, and like, my first album was Kiss Dynasty that I ever got. So.
Oh, wow. No kidding. Nice album, even though it wasn't very well received by the hard-edged fans, like the ones when disco came out. It's either you love disco or you love Kiss. Sorry, I love Kiss. And back to when you were talking about Ronnie James Dio, may he rest in peace, that man had a presence, like you said, like no other. I mean, the guy was probably only about 5'4", but when he sang, you could swear he was like 10 foot. The guy, I usually call him, what was it? This little man in stature, but he had the voice of a giant. And I've got some early stuff from the early 70s of a band he was called Elf. And the minute he starts singing, you go, yep, that's Ronnie James Dio.
I have
He
another
sounds
question
exactly
here.
the same. Mm-hmm.
It's from Bear. He's asking if we are into steampunk music. If so, what are our favorite bands?
Oh, I really don't know
Steam
the
Powered
steampunk.
Giraffe.
Never heard of them, to be honest with you.
I like Steam Powered Giraffe. You should actually hear it. You will actually like them. I think you will actually like them. Try Steam Powered Giraffe. I'm pretty sure you'll like them. Of course, Broly is enthralled with them.
I see that.
Wesley got me into them a couple years ago, and actually his girlfriend went and seen Steam Powered Giraffe and got to know some of the band members and stuff like that, so that was kind of cool.
Nice.
Yeah, and a plug to my store, A&D Designs, Miss Nico Designs, for your eclectic desires. We have everything you could ever want. We have men's clothes, we have women's clothes, we have slink stuff, we have wow mess stuff, we have mesh stuff, we have everything. Like, I'm just I keep growing and growing and growing. I now make for dev bodies. So yeah, meet my store, meet my eccentricities, meet my wild little mind. Get really good clothes while you're at it.
Yep, she made me a jacket once, a custom jacket that I still love to this day. So she makes really good clothes, guys.
Ah,
Trust in the Yakana.
what do you think of the new wave of Southern fried rock? You know, like Moccasin Creek, the Lax, you know, the that hip hop stuff.
Hip hop. Oh, I'm not really a very big fan of hip hop, really. But I mean, it sounds cool, but to me, it all sounds the same. To me, it all sounds the same. I mean, if I have to listen to country or Southern fried rock and roll, I go with Skinnerd. I go with Mountain. I go with Molly Hatchet. Now that to me is
Yeah, that's Southern fried rock. Yeah,
yeah.
of course. You know.
See, I am so out of the loop with most newer music. I guess I got to get on the stick, huh?
Well, no, it's what you like, and you know, some of us are not as liberal as others. Like, I listen to hip hop. I'm not going to say anything because I've listened to it. I'm not. Some of it reminds me of Kid Rock, and I like Kid Rock. And so that's not a bad thing. Some of it reminds me of regular rap, which I really don't like. Just I guess it depends on the person. Like some people actually love hip hop, and some people just hate hip hop. I feel in between. I'm one of those that's on the fence about it
Yeah.
because like there's some songs that I don't mind listening to because it sounds like Kid Rock, and some songs that just sound too rappy for me to even bother, and I just shudder and go, no, thank you.
There's that one Kid Rock album. I can't remember the name of it. It was the one All Summer Long was on. But that to
Cocky.
me, yeah, was it
It
Cocky?
was cocky. Yeah, it was cocky.
Because when he actually moved more, got more mellow in his approach, I actually started digging him more. I mean, the guy chain smokes like a mother effer, you know that. And I just hate to see him destroy his voice, you know. But still, I mean, I really like the newer kid stuff because it just seems more bluesy and more kind of countryish. You know, I mean, I can remember riding places with my kids and my daughter and I singing all summer long. It was just hysterical, just to the top of our lungs.
The first one we ever heard of was Tub Thumpin'. I think it was Tub Thumpin'.
Oh, Chumbawamba!
Not Chumbawamba. No. The
That's
other.
the only thing
Ba
I can
did a
associate
ba.
with.
The
Oh,
bang. The
yeah.
bang did it. That one.
Oh, yes. Okay. Bowie to ba ba ba. I can't
Yeah.
pronounce that damn shit. Oops, sorry if this is a family show.
Anyway, our time is up. I'd like to thank Voodoo so very much for coming back on the show.
Oh, it's great to be here again. I mean, anytime.
Thank you, fans, for coming out. I am always happy to see you guys. You guys make me so happy. And my guests make me so happy too. And yeah. So this is the Land of Lancaster, your Mistress of Meadow, and I'd like to thank you for coming out. You have a great one. Rock on.
Later. I'm showing my devil horns. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Tony.